Now, I request our chairperson, Srimati Sarala Birla, to kindly say a few words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Dr. Stephen Decray, friends, parents, teachers, and students. On behalf of the Ekshok Hall group of schools, I take pleasure in welcoming Dr. Decray, who has agreed to grace this occasion as chief guest. For this, we are most grateful to Dr. Gedre. Dr. Stephen Gedre is the president of the Asian Institute of Management in Philippines and Manila. Dr. Decre's expertise include leadership development, educational leadership, psycho, social assessment, and management. He has more than 30 years of experience in education and leadership development. Beginning as a school psychologist, he consulted with parents, teachers, and students in Innova. At Kellogg, he served as Dean of Admissions and taught MBA classes. At the University of Florida, he directed MBA programs and taught strategy classes. For 16 years, he helped build HKUST Business School into one of the Asia's leading management education institutions. Spectrum is a mega event held once in 4 years. It showcases the talent of all the students with the objectives of inculcating discipline and improving cultural awareness among the participants. This year, Spectrum has been conceived to be a true reflection of the spirit of the times and a tribute to the multifaceted cultures from around the world. Dear children and parents, education is most important for success and progress in life. However, education often confused with literacy. Education is often confused with literacy. True education lies within the individual and is indicated when imbibed knowledge is made one with the mind, body, and soul of the individual that enables wonderful application of knowledge and success in life. Hence, education is not complete when you finish school or even college. To paraphrase Rabindranath Tagore, your mind must be without barriers and you must acquire knowledge all through your life. However, knowledge by itself does not bring great value. It is appropriate application of knowledge that will keep you active and productive. I pray to the Almighty to bestow His best on the teachers and the taught equally and without any discrimination. I would like to express my deep appreciation to the parents for their wholehearted support. Once again, I thank Dr. Decray for gracing this occasion. Thank you. Thank you, children.
With that sensational start, we extend a warm welcome to everyone present here. Spectrum, a mega event, was started in 1983 and since then has taken place every 4 to 5 years. Spectrum comprises enthralling visual and musical extravaganza to showcase the effulgence of more than 9,000 students of the Ashok Hall group of schools. More importantly, this magnificent show illustrates what can be achieved through discipline, hard work, cultural awareness, and an eye for perfection. Children from lower infant up to students of class 11 have participated with sincerity and dedication, and each one of them will be able to successfully demonstrate their abilities and thrill all of you. Do you know what we have in store for you? We have Magic of Mombasa, which portrays the different aspects of the African culture, and Night at the Museum, that exemplifies formations like the pyramid and the Eye of Horus. We also have Latin bows and bells that will excite you with their Latino spirit, and Ode to the Motherland, which is a tribute by all of us to the country. Spectrum will exhilarate and overwhelm. It will confirm the energy and capability of the youth of today and the promise for the future of India.
The students of Lower Infant from Ashok Hall Girls Higher Secondary School, G.D. Birla Center for Education, and Mahadevi Birla Shishu Vihar will shake their tiny legs to the music from Mary Poppins. Watch them jive to the music to this 1964 American musical, which tells the story of a magical nanny who comes to work for the Banks family. She incorporates elements of fun and frolic in their lives with songs such as A Spoonful of Sugar, Chim Chim Chiri, and Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. These songs give the lower infants an opportunity to showcase their innocence, exuberance, and enthusiasm. This enduring performance has been immaculately choreographed by Ms. Shashwati Garai Ghosh.
be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Good luck will rub off when I shake hands with you. Oh, blow me a kiss, and that's lucky too. Now as the ladder of life has been sprung, you might take a